Are we rolling?
We're rolling.
Follow me. This is the green room. This is where coffee and donuts will be at 6:30 in the morning. There. Where are my keys?
I put them on that.
Oh, can you grab them? I can't get in without.
Keys.
Do you know the magic code?
No, I do not.
6 digits. I don't either. They always change them. If I had my phone, I might have a code that works. But yes, coffee, donuts will be made. I mean, coffee will be made. The donuts will already.
The magic code for Morro Bay locks is 1964. In case.
1964 for Morro Bay Locks?
Yeah, because that's the year of incorporation.
Oh, I didn't know that. All right, so basically the power procedure, you have 3 crucial things that have to be powered up in order. Okay, but before we get to that, turn on your lights. Come on, follow me, videographer. Turn on your lights. Open up the curtains. All right. So the 3 things in order, and so these 3 things that you're turning on are the last 3 things you turn off in reverse order. So the first thing you turn on is the board, and so the power switch is right here on the left edge. All right, get the dancing lights. Yeah, you gotta catch that. Second thing is the I/O tower. So over here on the left, you're gonna see this little toggle switch that goes from left to right. That powers up the I/Os. So that's the second thing you turn on, and the second to last thing you turn off. Okay, and then the third thing in the crucial 3 is the computer. And you have to come all the way down here to the base. This power switch on that rack right there. Just hold that for a couple seconds, and then it's going to power up. Okay. Now there's a bunch of other gear that you can turn on as needed. Over here, this toggle switch allows you to well, first you can turn on the camera in the ISO booth over here. It's the only way this TV would be powered up. So you just power it up like that with the remote on this, but it's automatically turned on only by turning that toggle switch on. Then you have all these power switches. 1 through 8 are all the inboard gear, and then 9 and 10. If you go down there, you can see that amp just got turned on. That's for Q1, and that's for Q2. Those power switches are left on, and any of the power switches on any of the outboard gear are left on. And then you have separate remote switches to turn them on and off. So when this breaks, we just got to replace this little $3 switch. When it breaks on the actual hardware, then you got to take the whole thing out. You get it. It's a mess. So that's George and his genius thinkings doing that. So we have our 2 Qs on. That's all we need. We don't need any of this outboard gear. Then we come over here, and if we want to listen through these JBLs in here, or listen back to any recording of the JBLs out in the room, then you come over to this rack of switches over here, and you can see these 539A and a corresponding amp, Bryston A. These A switches, first you turn on, and that's the Uri EQ, and then the corresponding amp. So you turn on the EQ first, then the amp. And that's a reverse order when you turn it off. You turn off the amp, and then listen to these. You'll hear on the speakers a little. And then you can turn that off. If you turn that off before you turn off the amp, you're gonna get a huge pop. So turn on the EQ, then the amp, then to turn off the amp and wait for that little, and then turn off the EQ. And so if we wanted to listen back on the playback speaker, so after you tracked a session and everybody's breaking down and you want to just play back what they just recorded, you can do that by turning those on. So, but we're not going to use those today. Wait for that kind of 2 second, and then turn that off, and it'll be okay. So that's all good. So that's all the equipment that we need for this session, and that is the power up procedure.